This is why a lot of Canadians feel stuck, miserable, and sometimes they can't even go back to their countries, to their home countries where they come from. I'm going to explain this high level. That way you kind of understand it. And I'm going to make it as simple as well. That way an average person can understand it. So think about the day you got into Canada. We all came through different channels. Some people came through as refugees, some people came as students, some people came as landed immigrants. And what happens is that there's actually a system you're gonna fall into. And if you don't understand this system, let me say this, it will take from you. And you have to actually dedicate the time to understand the system. And I'm gonna explain to you, like, in a simple way, how this system actually takes from you. Before that, stay for this video. You're gonna get educated. Share this video. Don't be one of those people who are selfish. Just share the video. That's all I'm asking you. You don't have to send in money. You don't have to do anything. Just share the video. Like the video. If you feel that this video actually educates you in some way, shape, or form, leave a comment. Okay. So, why is it that a lot of people don't understand this system? There's no one from CRA who's going to come and actually explain this to you. You actually have to figure out yourself. And those who are curious enough will find out, how the system works. And let me say this. It doesn't matter whether you came here as a refugee, a landed immigrant, a student, you're going to get into the system. So let me just kind of explain what am I talking about. So you get here, you get your social security number, you get a job, and you find out that they take taxes off your paycheck, right? And Revenue Canada wants you to have the same financial plan for everybody, because they understand that the more you stay oblivious about things, the more money they make. So an average Canadian who works, let's say you're making about $70,000 and up, you're gonna lose about 40 to 60% of your income through taxes. Some tax will hit you, right? And you can't avoid it because, one, almost 30% of that money is taken away before you see it. And then you start spending your after-tax dollars. So let's talk about, land taxes. Let's talk about grocery food tax. Let's talk about fuel tax. There's a lot of taxes, you're gonna actually come across. And you can't avoid it because you need these things to actually live. So now, let's talk about how it's working for an average person. So as long as you have a JOB, as long as you don't understand the system will do its job. It doesn't matter about your background. It doesn't matter where you come from, black, white, Indian. It doesn't really matter. The system is designed to come for the average people first. And that's what I noticed in the first couple years I was here. I'll tell you a story here. When I landed in Montreal, I remember my gross income was $18,000 from when I came from Zimbabwe. And I remember filing my taxes. In Quebec, you pay two taxes. You have the federal and you have the provincial taxes. I remember being told that, pay $25 to do your taxes, but you still owe about $800. And I'm like, I don't even have money in my savings account. I don't even have anything. So that got me curious, like, why is it that other people, they are literally driving nice vehicles, living a lavish life, whilst the immigrants are working hard, are doing everything they can possibly do to actually make it. But this is a big but, right? We have more month than money, and we are not getting anywhere because we are overworked, underpaid, and no time to actually spend time with our families. So, I did what anybody could have thought of, going to get a second job. And I realized, yeah, sure, I'm making a little bit more money, but it seems like the government is taking more. So this was like all new stuff to me. I didn't understand it. And then I was like, okay, look, let me start my own, let me move from Montreal to Edmonton. And I got to Edmonton, got into oil field, into landscaping. I worked overtime, did all of that. But I was like, man, what is it I need to do? Okay. Then I said, well, let me venture into my own business. Let me start. I knew landscaping because I'd learned landscaping before. So I was like, you know what, let me start my landscaping business. Yeah, you could see a little bit of surplus in the business, and I was actually happy, but I did not have any time. I was working full time, running a side business, and it was actually like exhausting. When you hire contractors, if they mess up, they still need to get paid. If you have employees, whether they do the job good or not, you still gotta pay them. So it was just a constant struggle, and I was like, man, what is that need to do? That's when I stumbled and fumbled into finance, and I started learning about finance. And I realized that, in Canada, it's not about your degrees. There are people who have degrees who are making way less money than people who don't have degrees. So I realized that, you know what? For you to make it in Canada, you need a license which can change your tax status. And this license costs about less than $600. And it's not even expensive. Once you learn how this works, you'll be like, oh my God, there's actually a loophole you can go through to actually start making it. And you don't have a lot of overhead. And I was like, man, if only I knew about this when I got here, things would be a little bit different. So I ventured into it. I had to write my provincial exam. I had to study. I had to learn new information. I had to go through the boring stuff. And I remember my first client, when I landed my first client. And this meeting, I can say, from the time I met this client to the time where we did business together and everything, I made over $2,000 on that deal. And I was like, man, the magic of money, right, is to be able to increase your value in the marketplace. And I didn't have to quit my job. I didn't have to do anything extra. And I was like, okay, cool. How does this work? And I got to learn that when you change your tax status, so you become an entrepreneur. And I think every single person should do this, because if the rich people are doing it, the wealthy people are using the tax system to their advantage. Why should the average person should not use it? I believe in paying taxes. I think that we should all pay taxes. But what I don't like is that overpaying your taxes. So giving too much money to the government just because of the information you didn't know. So when I got educated about all of this, I was like, man, I think that a lot of people should actually understand how this works. So I was like, man, I'll go on a journey. I've been in finance for the last 10 years. And I've accomplished a lot. I have gone through the worst, in business. When you're an entrepreneur, when you are running your own business, you have to run with faith. Not faith, faith. Sometimes, you don't have any money. Sometimes you are advertising your business, you're not getting any clients. Sometimes you are literally broke. There's a difference between being broke as an entrepreneur and being broke as a 9-to-5. A 9-to-5, you're broke for 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, you're going to get a little bit of money. With a business, though, you might not eat. You might eat rice and beans when you're building this business. And the problem which I find with a lot of people, they're looking for instant gratification. And what I want to say to you there is this. If you can delay your gratification in everything you do, you're going to find out that you're going to succeed faster. You're going to see the fruits of your labor faster. So I'm going to be running webinars. And these webinars are going to explain to you how this all works. So if you want to know about these webinars and if you want to get educated, they're all free. Don't worry, I'm not taking money from you. The only thing you can do for me though is share this video, like this video, give me some feedback if you think that there's some information you need. Let's connect. I'm Coach Maiden. Until next time, thank you.